handouts, photos, everything.
I tell you what, you're ready for your presentation.
I'm ready. I can walk you through what you have in front of you, and that may answer a lot of the questions, and if not, we can do specific questions at the end. The color photo you have here is from the feasibility study that was performed by Kavanaugh and Associates. It's an aerial photo. It serves two purposes, mainly to give you a spatial relationship of the area we're talking about. And secondly, if you'll follow the green and blue lines, it'll show you the routes that the wastewater treatment facility is gonna take. Now, let me preface what I'm gonna say with, this is not set in stone. This is the proposal. Things could change, the engineering starts, they can find better routes, they can change things, but this is what is proposed at this point. Okay. The black and white sketch that you have in front of you is a more detailed diagram of phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3.
How far do you phase apart?
They're gonna be triggered by usage.
So what you're saying, that means that when the first phase of this get done, then you go back and do some phase 2? If that's what you mean by uses, or?
Kinda. Obviously, there'll be sequential phase 1, 2, and 3 in order. By usage, I mean, if phase 1 is 50,000 gallons, for example, which is what it's gonna be. We will set a standard of, once we reach 75% of 50,000 gallons, we will start phase 2. And then phase 2 will be 100,000 gallons. When we get to 75% of that, then we'll start phase 2. That's what I mean by usage. It'll be triggered off of usage.
What is the county's plans to get that additional 25,000 gallons that you're talking about now with 50, and we're only permitted for 25? How are we gonna get that other 25,000?
We're gonna have to renovate the facility, which is what
The reuse line?
right, that's part of it. The facility itself today, as it sits, is 25,000 gallons.
Right,
The renovation would expand it to 50,000 gallons. That would be phase 1.
and the renovations would encompass what?
That's gonna get into, get to
Understand.
engineering issues,
Right.
and I'm gonna get out of my.
But in practicality, we're just looking at what?
You're gonna put in what is here. If you look at this map, it shows you, you're gonna put in a new affluent station, which is 1, a 5-day upset pond, which is already there, 7 storage basin, 3 bar screen, 4 a single batch reactor, 5 a filter. And that's
That's how we're gonna get our capacity.
That's how you get your capacity up. And then at the end, once it's been treated, that's where these blue lines that you see on this map come into play. Some of the water will be spread on the spray field that's existing. Other parts of it will leave the facility on these blue lines and be reused for irrigation purposes. Obviously, there'll be non-potable water,
Right.
can't be drank, but it could be reused on ball fields or greenways or even the farms that surround us. So they'll be reused.
When you're talking about reuse, are we gonna have some type of holding tank, or is it going to be, that's what he's talking about?
Yeah. I believe number 7 on that map.
Storage basin.
Now, all of this, where number 7 is that, looks like there's a boundary line?
Right, that's
This
all part
square,
of the DOC.
is that all
property.
part of the DOC property?
As I understand it, yes.
Okay.
That is all part of the DOC property.
So the county, once A and B meet together, which A is the state and B in the county,
Mhm.
everything within that square is gonna be
It's
turned
gonna
over to the
It
county.
becomes a package, correct. The
Okay.
facility, the spray field, everything, it's a package.
Now, what about the bar screen that's at DOC? That's part of the system now. Is that could be part of our maintenance and operation requirement now? Or is that Or we talking about putting in another one?
I think putting in another one
Okay.
is what the expansion and renovation is gonna include.
So we'll still use the one at DOC?
Absolutely. The
Okay.
facility that's there is gonna be used in some capacity,
Okay.
but it's gonna be renovated to expand the capacity.
Our spray fields, what are we gonna do about our spray fields? Are we gonna, I know we're gonna have some type of way of collecting the fluent from that. Are we gonna be looking at trees or grass or?
I think, and this is going to, again, quickly get out of my expertise, our engineers are bringing in some, I don't know, soilologists, I don't know what the word is, but people that.
Soil science.
Soil science, there you go, study soil. They were coming in to determine if we need to replant the trees that are out there that look bad, or do we need to go to some type of heavy vegetation, some type of grass. That's what's about to happen this week and next week, is we're gonna have the experts come in and tell us what we need to do. I think, and this is me thinking, my opinion, I think you're gonna see the trees come out, and you're gonna see some type of heavy grass going in. That's what I think you're gonna see.
With these possible reuse sites, this farmland,
Mhm.
my nephew Ted.
Right.
But he owns one right across from it.
Right.
His daddy owns the other place.
Right, and that's why it says possible, you know, it doesn't say that's where we're gonna definitely put any water down, it's just, that's another option. You know, one option is to put it on our spray field, another option is to reuse it on the ball fields around there, third option would be put it on crops, you know, it's just, thank you.
He had mentioned to me, my nephew has about, where his wood come out there, where that, one of his daddy's place, have a big pond there, if you didn't have a pivot, irrigated to do that.
Yeah.
He had mentioned that to me.
On, phase one, I see that stops before it gets to where that family fun center's marked off.
Which map are you on? Okay. If you, the Family Fun Center, I'll discuss since obviously they've announced, and I'm not gonna start talking about businesses that haven't announced, but since they have, I'll tell you, that's where they're going, where my arrow is. What you're gonna see is, you're gonna see, they're gonna plumb from here on this tree line to Sony Lane. It's gonna almost be like a spine, Sony Lane's gonna run, things gonna be up and down Sony Lane, and you're gonna see it come off and come to here. That's what you're gonna see.
So they won't be hooking on.
No, they will.
On the road frontage.
No,
Okay.
no one will be hooking on the road front.
I see phase two goes along the road.
Yeah.
Right, that's so that we can move the sewer line east, down toward the eastern crossroads. And, again, this is where some of the stuff is not nearly installed. The engineers may decide to come down this tree line and go out, and may decide to come underneath. That's an engineering call. You know, our goal would be to get Dr. Fisher's sewer, goal one, and goal two would be expanding it down 158, so that we can have further economic development.
All this was generated by whom?
Steve Kavanaugh.
In Raleigh, Winston-Salem?
Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem.
Anybody else?
Is there a reason, of course, I know you said this wasn't set in stone on
Right.
such, is there a reason why these 2 points are not linked back here?
I don't know, I noticed the same thing, and I honestly just don't know the answer to that one.
Of course, it could be just that somebody forgot to draw that.
Yeah, it could be that simple, or it could be some complex engineering reason that, and honestly, I just don't know.
But I
which
just
way.
think it's odd to stop it.
Yeah, I do too, especially at that point, because it's not anywhere particular, like at the beginning or the end of the horseshoe, it's just kind of an arbitrary point.
We have got any ballpark figure, any of the cost of anything at this time?
Phase one's gonna be somewhere in the $3 million range.
$3 million. So do we have anything like possibility of grant money or how this money can be generated?
Grant, a lot of it's gonna come from grants. You know, I can't tell you every penny or half or 3/4, because we just don't know, because we haven't been awarded grants yet. But we're pursuing grants to pay for all of it.
And if we don't get grant,
Then we're gonna